Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Was pretty much reluctant to post this video, but here it is. This is what my tank looks like after the move. I'm gonna be honest, this is pretty depressing compared to where my tank was, where it came from, and the amount of time and effort and money that I put into this tank over the past 2 years. But this is where it is. Now it's out there for everyone to see. Now I'm gonna explain to you why this happened the way it happened and what happened like along the way. So pretty much, I was moving out of my apartment and I was given about 3 days. Well, obviously in the hobby, we know planning is key. So I did plan, had all my buckets, my movement equipment, everything set to go. But as we all say, there's always the unpredictable factor you can never keep into account. So on the day of the move, I had about 6 helpers helping me move. Now, the idea behind it for me was it was the perfect time to upgrade because I'm moving. So it was the best time to do a tank breakdown. Besides, my center brace of my 72 was broken. It's been that way for 2 years now, so I was getting a bit more worried as the years progressed. So I decided to do a move and a tank upgrade at the same time. Now, the problem with that is there was no space for me to keep the 120, so the 120 had to be moved and bought on the day of moving. With 6 people helping you, didn't seem like a pretty bad idea. But when your 6 helpers turn to 4, to 3, to 1, it becomes a problem. Yes, it had a course of 3 days to get this all done. But with moving to a 2-story townhome, 3 tiers of stairs, it becomes very tedious in the body. So eventually got all of my stuff broken down. Everything was in buckets. I moved the tank last because it required the most work. Um, at probably 8 or 9 o'clock at night is when we started the move for the tank, because most of the main stuff took the majority of the day. Like about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, my last helper was gone. So was exhausted from moving all day, so I decided to, hey, this should be okay. It's a couple hours. I left everything in buckets. My fish were in the 40 gallon, whatever, 44 gallon brute trash, 45 brute trash can, and had a circulation pump, heater, had a couple pumps and a couple buckets, but wasn't enough. So the next day, when I eventually got my 2 tanks upstairs by myself. Don't ask me how I did it. It was a effing nightmare. But eventually I got them upstairs. I filled the tank with water, put the fish in, went to transfer my corals, and I would say 85% of my corals to probably 90% of my corals were dead. The first thing I smelled when I opened the buckets or looked into the buckets was the stench of death. Yeah, coral smell just as bad as dead fish, or even worse, I would say. So, after, swearing some words, cut my losses, pulled the dead stuff out, try to, quarantine what I had was still alive, put it in the main display. My 35 head frog spawn went down to probably 5 heads. The coral I would say survived the most, or the toughest, the best, I would say, was the hammerheads. Most of them were alive. But yeah, so this is what's left. It's pretty sad. A lot of my SPS died, obviously. However, if you look right in the middle, right there, the one that actually survived was my most expensive, which is my Christmas Marabellas from Worldwide Corals. So I'm pretty proud of that one. I didn't take the bucket like the others did. But yeah, so this is where I'm at right now. I will be starting over. What I will do though, I will turn this 72 bullfront into predominantly, well, not predominantly, I will turn it into just an enemy tank. I'll leave the clowns in and a couple outcast fish that I don't want in a new build that I'm going to be working on my 120. So stay tuned, and you guys will see. I will be working and posting more videos later on. And unfortunately, I didn't have any setup and progressions, but I do have a few stages, some videos, and some images. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys soon.